Hello and welcome to Media Tech. I'm Mr. Keel. Today we're going to learn how to use Final Cut. So we have our groups of 4. For this particular assignment, you'll try to break down into subgroups of 2. You'll share your camera and you'll split it between your 2 computers. If you're at one of those tables where one of the computers isn't working right, see if you can hop on a computer across the room, you and a partner, and work it out that way. It's not going to be perfect. There might be 4 people stuck on one computer, but I really want to be sure that we spread everybody out. I want everybody to get their hands on Final Cut. Let's hop into this. Welcome to your Final Cut training video for Film Noir's first project. If you look down on your dock, you're going to go ahead and click this little, what's called a movie slate with the multiple colors and stuff. Usually your dock is down here. If it's not here, you're going to take the mouse down and hover at the bottom of the screen, or sometimes it might be at one of the sides. You take the mouse and you hover at either side of the screen. In my case, Final Cut Pro is already open. Just go ahead and get Final Cut Pro open. That's literally your first part of this assignment. Moving along, once you're in, the first part of this assignment, the first grade in this assignment is literally just opening it. So if you got that far, congratulations. When I give you these directions, you need to stop and follow the directions. That's the only way to pass this class. All right, so let's explain a few things. These are called libraries right here in this top left-hand corner. You'll see the 4 squares with a star inside. One library is called Film Noir Group 10 Test. The other library is called Keel Test Run. All right, so you see this title here, Film Noir Group 10 Test. Well, that's because that is what I want you to call your library when you create it today. So you're going to go up top and you're going to go File, New, Library. Now the library is where you store all your videos, just like how books are stored in a library. This is where you store your video stuff. So you will, just like that other one, Film Noir Group 11 is what I'm calling this one, Test. So you're going to look at your computer number, and whatever your computer number is called, you're going to call it all that, and then you're also going to add whether you're the blue team, gold team, day 1 or day 2. Okay, you might notice a few interesting things here with Final Cut. If for some reason you don't see your library, this is an event, and your projects, you may be looking at the text or music, a variety of things. Now, all you got to do is click these little tabbies here to see your stuff, if for some reason it's missing. Now let me go back into our test. See, this is the library that I currently have that I just created for you guys to demonstrate. There's nothing in there. Where you see the library where I make a lot of your test videos, there's projects, and when I double click on this project, the part here with the slate, you will see my timeline and you'll see all the video I have in there. In the window here, underneath that library, I have all sorts of stuff in there. Now you're going to notice that your library that you just created, Film Noir Test with your day in class, will have all sorts of different, not all sorts of it, we'll have one of these events. This is called an event, the thing with the single star. It'll pop up with a day. This kind of allows you to organize stuff in your library if you're working on something big like your Film Noir project will eventually be. You're going to go ahead and name this event 7th grade, your day, and your team. Now we got to talk about timelines. So this can get a little confusing if you're not used to Final Cut. Again, these are your projects up here. They control your timeline. Right now you won't have anything in your timeline yet. So what you're going to do is you're going to go up to File, New, Project, and I want you to call this Film Noir Super Cool Test. I want you to be very specific. Call it Film Noir Super Cool Test, and then whatever your team is and whatever your day is. Team Gold, Team Blue, Day 1, Day 2. Go ahead and click OK. And you'll get a blank timeline down here. So I want you to go ahead and create that Film Noir Super Cool Test Team blank Day blank. Give me your team and your day. Now it's time to get your camera from the cabinet. You might notice your camera has a battery already, or maybe it doesn't. If it doesn't have a battery, come on over to the charger and you slide one out. It's easy to accidentally pull off this little thing here. It's called a cookie. If you accidentally take the cookie off in the process, just put the cookie back on the charger, grab your battery, and remember, to get batteries on, you'll have to take the shoe off the bottom of the camera, put the battery on, and then put the shoe right back on too. Take a look at the pegboard here. You will see the black USB-C cables either magnetized and hanging to the pegboard, like so, or there are some in this basket here. Both spots are acceptable place. You know you have the right cable because it will look like one of these little guys, kind of like a phone charger, and then the other end, obviously, is a regular USB plug. On the side of the camera where my thumb is pointing there, you see that's where that USB-C plugs into. The camera needs to be on. And more than just on, it needs to be on the playback mode. So you press the sideways triangle, and you'll see your clips pop up, and you plug in your USB-C plug, and then you're going to plug that back into the back of the computer. You're going to plug the USB plug into the back of the computer. This is how you're going to read your stuff to upload your clips. Here we go, plugging into the back of the computer. You'll see there I got it backwards. You want to get it so it just slides in. If you have to force it, you're doing it wrong. About this time, you'll be ready to import your clips. So once it's plugged in, the camera, and it's on playback mode, you'll see this screen pop up. You'll see, let's say Canon Vixia HF R72 or R80, or some dingbat might have renamed theirs to Roberto or something like that. But you'll see the camera pop up, you'll see this camera logo here. Depending on how much is on the camera, it might take quite a while to load up. About midway through the semester, I'll have you guys delete everything that's on here. You can actually see this particular camera has stuff from like 2 years ago, so it definitely needs to be wiped. All right, let's say all these clips here on the bottom are the ones that I want. I can click on the first clip that I want, MVI 1994 MP4, and I can hold down the Shift button on the keyboard and take multiple clips, or if it works out right, I can just kind of drag and get multiple clips if I want them. You can't get every other clip, so if you're trying to cherry pick them, you might have to click Import Selected and go through and do multiple. But here's me. I'm going to go ahead and do those 2 clips. Once they are imported, you'll see them in your window here. See, there I am, looking handsome, giving you the thumbs down. Okay, here's where it gets interesting. You can see the actual project here, everything I've taught you so far. Up here, this library and event area. This is where all your footage is stored. So you just imported maybe 5 or 10 clips. I want you to drag and drop them down in your timeline. For example, here's my battery directions from the other day. I'm going to drag and drop those. Now, down here in my timeline, here is a text thing. I got the text from up here. There's music. Some of your computers will be disappointing and you won't have any iTunes in here. Some will have music, but if you had music, you could just drag it and drop it the same way I'm going to drag and drop this text. So here is a text thing. Go ahead and type something in there. Here's your clip. You can play it. Another thing over here is the filters and transitions. So if you find them, these filters are like what you would call like special effects, maybe, kind of, sort of. Let's say I want to turn this battery directions black and white. I just turned it black and white, and I'm going to make you listen to them because I want you to know how to do the batteries anyway.
Come on over to the charger, and you slide one out. It's easy to accidentally pull off this little thing here. It's called a cookie. If you accidentally take the cookie off in the process, just put the cookie back on the charger, grab your battery, and remember, to get batteries on, you'll have to take the shoe off the bottom of the camera, put the battery on, and then put the shoe right back on too.
Okay, so all I want you to do now is play with those clips you took when you were outside the other day. Drag and drop them, see if you can put them in an order that makes sense. Add special effects. Transitions are here. If I wanted to do a transition of cross-dissolving between this text and that battery thing, I can click Create Transition. And if you watch it roll, see that little fade-in transition? You can add that in. Also, you just saw that battery, those battery directions. Once you are done importing your footage, I want you to pull that cable out, put the cable away, put the camera away, take the battery off the back of the camera, put it on the charger, put the shoe back on the battery. That's part of your directions. For the rest of the hour, all I want you doing is playing around with Final Cut and figuring out all this stuff. I'm going to bring it back to that library. This thing right here, your library, is the #1 most important thing. The last thing you're going to do today when you go to leave, you're going to click on Film Noir, blah, 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 your library, and you're going to go up and go File, Close Library, Film Noir, group, whatever group you are, blah, blah, blah. Make sure to close your library because people will accidentally mess your stuff up if they don't. I guarantee you some of you will forget and some of you will have your work deleted because you don't listen to me. That's all.